Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Porch. I am Deb. Here's our Thursday thoughts with Deb. This is a time that I can just come to you and just talk about who I am and what the porch is and why some of the things that I think are important to me, just to get to know me a little bit better as your host of On the Porch. So the porch started a long time ago. My background was I grew up Catholic. I married a Lutheran, became a United Methodist pastor, and now we have the porch. So I've been really thinking a lot about the significance of the porch. The porch is not about religion. It's about relationships. It is about your relationship with God, my relationship with God. It's about our relationships with each other. It's about growing a community. It's about being stronger together. We've been talking about, different chairs, same table. Well, the different chairs. Did you know that there are over 45,000 Christian churches globally? Most of them come, and I'm going to read this so I don't get, most of them come from the six main groups of Christianity, but there are over 45,000 Christian denominations globally. That is crazy. So each one of us have a little bit different seat. We come from a different place. We all call ourselves Christians, but we have a little bit different seats that we sit in, some different beliefs that we believe in. Some Christians are Trinitarian, some of them are non-Trinitarian, meaning some Christians believe in the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Other Christian denominations do not. We all sit in different seats. There are over 10,000 distinct religions in the world. 10,000 distinct religions in the world. Now, 77% of those distinct religions are from one of the four major religions: Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. Now, this is important because, like I said, when we say pull up your chair, we're not asking you to change seats. I think God is calling us all to the same table. Like I said, there are over 45,000 different Christian denominations in the world. We all believe similar things, but each one of us have different backgrounds and different contexts. And that's what we bring to the table. Now, the table is a place that we can belong, that we can bring our questions, that we can bring our thoughts, that we can bring our beliefs. It's a place for us to be honest, especially in the middle of real life, because that is where our heart is. That is where God is. The porch is not a church. It's the after church. It's the before church. It's the between our doubts. It's in our tired seasons. It's in when our faith seems quiet and we want just a softer faith, or maybe faith seems loud, and maybe you feel like it's conditional. Maybe you feel that there's just not a place for you where you are right now. The porch is a space that you can come where people show up tired. People just want to have hope. They want to find a place to belong, and they come. Then I was looking and I was thinking, okay, the significance of the porch for me is that, and as for me, I was Pastor Deb for many, many years. And then I was thinking about this is, not necessarily a pastor. God is calling me to be the host at his table on his porch. Significance of the porch. Now, a porch signifies, and I think that this is interesting, a transitional space. It's neither fully public or entirely private. It's open. It's a bridge A porch is a bridge between the outside world and the home's interior. The porch, on the porch, is a bridge between God and where your faith is. It's a place to come. It's a place to experience God's love for yourself in your seat, in what you know. It's a place for us to come safely, to ask questions. But the porch also represents a hub for social connection, for community, for relaxation. But it's also serving as a welcoming, sheltered entrance. God is calling us to the porch, to this space. So symbolically, it's often symbolized as preparation for community in literature, and it's a safe space for an intimate and often intense human interactions. We can sit and we can have lemonade on the porch, but we can also sit and absolutely get to know each other's hearts. But we can meet God here as we're growing in our faith. The porch isn't something that everybody has. It's not something that everybody needs, but it's something that God has called me to create, to welcome those people that are in the margins, that maybe have been hurt by the church, maybe that just are new in faith, maybe that just needs a spark of light and a change. Maybe there's an addiction and they need God and they don't know how to do it because they feel like they just don't fit. The porch is welcoming. And like I said, bring your chair. The porch is open. God's table is here. And this is where God meets you where you're at, in that space between. For me, the porch has become something absolutely beautiful. Now, did some research and I want to read some of this to you because I think it is so, so important. So some key significance to the meaning of porch. And I am going to read these because I think it's really important that we understand. So the porch is for social and community hub. Historically and culturally, porches are places to greet neighbors, to converse, and to observe community life, fostering a sense of connection. And that really is what the porch is, where we can connect, where we can come together. And we don't have to fit any kind of mold. We don't have to be polished on the porch, because the porch isn't about religion. It's about relationship, and it's about relationships with community and a relationship with God. It's about plugging back into God, our spiritual self, even if we've never found it before. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. It also says the porch is a threshold or a transition space. It acts as a buffer zone, allowing for a pause before entering a private residence. Think about that in our spiritual faith. It acts as a buffer zone, allowing a pause before entering into a relationship with God, before experiencing God's love for ourselves. That's the porch. That's the porch. Another definition, it says the porch is a symbol of hospitality. A well-kept porch signifies a welcoming home, offering a shaded, comfortable spot for guests before they enter the home. Think about that. That porch is that welcoming space. God's saying, hey, and this was my calling, and I'm defining this, and I'm so excited about it for you and for me. But God's saying, hey, you know what? Let's create a buffer zone for those people who have been hurt by the church, for those people who've never experienced church, for those people who are living in the margins and feel like they don't belong or they're not enough. Let's create a space of hospitality. Let's offer them shelter and shade and a comfortable spot to bring their own chairs. Don't ask them to move chairs. Just ask him to sit at my table. So we can come in and God's there ready to do that. So like I said, this is exciting for me, and I don't know what it means for you, but this is exciting for me. So cultural and literary symbols. In the American South, the porch is a place for social settings. It's a place that's often used for scenes for contemplation, for thinking, for actually confrontation, and a deep conversation. So whatever the porch is for you, God's calling you to come. He wants you. If you're here today, you're not here by mistake. If you're hearing this message, it is not by mistake. And these are just my personal thoughts. This is where God's calling me to do, to host his porch, to open it up to people, to give them a light, to welcome them into communication with him. Then there's some biblical significance of the porch too, and this is what we're going to talk about on Sunday. In the biblical context, porches like Solomon's porch, which we're going to talk about on Sunday, represents places of teaching and spiritual preparation before entering into the holy space. This is where God's calling us to be. This is what God's calling the porch to be. You don't have to have a relationship with Jesus or God at this point. It doesn't matter, because God's calling us to say, hey, come on. Bring your own chair. I'm not going to ask you to change your chairs. Let me just ask you to come and sit at my table. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about those hurts. Let's talk about your story. Let's talk about where you're coming from and where you want to go. There's a lot in this, folks, a lot. And then the porch is a functional extension. It provides practical benefits like protection from the weather, additional living space, and a place for relaxation and even sleeping. So in this, the porch has become something that is so beautiful. There are hundreds of thousands of people on the porch every month that come to our porch site. And I think that is what it's about. It's about protection. It's about seeing life differently. It's about seeing God differently. It's about experiencing God's love for yourself. It's about building a relationship with God. It's about plugging our spiritual self back into God's Spirit. There are so many amazing things that God is doing. And like I said, humbly, I come in not to pastor the porch, but to host the porch, where God is asking us to come with hospitality. He's asking us to come with open hearts. He's asking us to build a place of shelter. He's asking us to build a culture that says you are loved. You are not forgotten. You are necessary. You are important. You matter. You're needed. And you are God's. So bring your own chair, no matter what that background is. If it's one of the 45,000 denominations in this world, if it's one of the 45,000 Christian denominations in this world, or one of the 10,000, the 10,000 religions of the world, I think God's saying, come. Let's gather at this table in community. Some of your thoughts are going to be different. Some of your beliefs are going to be different. Some of your heartaches are going to be different. Your stories are all going to be different. But God's saying, come on, come to this safe space. Sit at my table. Let's talk about it. I want you to experience my love for yourself. That's what God's telling us. And I'm not going to ask you to change your chairs. I'm not going to tell you how to sit. Just come. And together we'll figure it out. The porch is becoming something beautiful to me, and hopefully it's becoming something beautiful to you. And if it's the first time that you've experienced the porch or any of this, like I said, Thursdays are just for Deb's 2 cents worth and kind of sharing part of my heart. I just never, ever dreamed in a million years that the porch would have such significance. And now I'm still learning. We're still growing and we're doing it together. And that's the exciting part. Some of you folks have been on the porch for the last 3 or 4 years. We've grown together. We talked together. We moved together. We've grown in relationship with God together. We've experienced our faith for ourselves. We're able to talk about it together in community. And we come from very different places. Come from very different backgrounds and spaces. We all sit in our own chairs with our own stories, our own backgrounds, our own contexts, our own religious beliefs. But once again, the porch is not about religion. It is about relationships. A relationship with God. It's about relationships with each other. It's about feeling loved, feeling accepted. There's no judgment. Because at God's table, there's no judgment. Not from us. But when you come with humble hearts, God is there ready to say, come on, let's do this together. Be part. Feel my love. Guys, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I don't know if I inspired you or confused you or led you in any way, but right now, regardless if it is the porch page or the porch on your home or whatever it is, God's calling you today to go to his table, because you can sit in different chairs, but we're all sitting at the same table and we can all gather on the same porch. So my friends, that is Deb's thoughts for the day. But I pray that God inspires you, that you feel lifted, that you feel loved. And on this beautiful day, I pray that God lets you feel his gentle embrace, some softer faith, and know that when you look in the mirror, you can see the good in your eyes. You can see the God in your heart. And when you look at the world, it doesn't look quite as ugly. It doesn't look quite as gloom and doom, but you can see the beauty that God created. And then when you look around and you see the people around you, the people that are hurting, the people that need God's love, the people that don't feel loved, that you can understand by Jesus' example that we are to love our neighbor as ourselves, that we are to take care of this creation that God created for us, this beauty around us. And we should feel God's love in our hearts so it overflows to the other people. Lots to be said. But know today that you're beautiful, that you're necessary, and that you are loved. I love you. God loves you. Praying for you today. So pray for me. Pray for the porch. And let's do this together. Let's bring our own chairs and meet God together. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Hope to see you tomorrow. Love you all.